Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my Redragon Trundle and Logitech G502 update. So, this is more on the Redragon one. I've gone from using this because I first had a problem where, for some reason, when I did the caps lock, I would use it every so often, and one time the caps lock was on without the light being on, and then was off when the light was on. I was like, what the fuck's kind of going on here? So I was kind of leery about what was going on there. Never mind the fact that I started getting kind of just like, I wasn't getting enough feedback on these kind of switches. It was kind of harder to see what was kind of going on when I was trying to type with certain kind of things. And then I pretty much had an accident because I switched this over to playing on my bed for video games and whatnot, and accidentally kicked it, and the keyboard fell down. I'm like, oh, okay, it should be alright. However, the thing that I was using and putting it on had like fallen on top of it, and it bent this first. I looked at it and like, well, that's not good because it's a detachable kind of USB-C, so I'm like, well, that's not going to work out. And it wasn't really that much of a bad fall, I thought, but then it pretty much took out the stem, I believe. On one of the switches. See, that's what it's supposed to look like. And it popped that fucker right into there. It's like, well, that's not good, even though I don't really use the function key. So then I'm like, alright, I guess I'll just switch out these keycaps and everything, because try to put this back on to a new one, it wasn't going to go on, and it would be raised a little bit, and that would fuck up some shit. So I'm like, alright, let me just use this keycap puller. I got through a good chunk, and it broke. Because it had this, and then it had this for the switch puller, I think. So I'm like, well, that isn't a very good kind of quality thing there. Now, I have a very strange and crazy kind of set of circumstances on that, so it's an outlier. You'll be like, yeah, as long as I don't fucking kick my keyboard off the desk, I should be alright. And I'm like, yes, you should be. So, it just affected me kind of going and looking into other ones. So, that also, I was also having some kind of problems with the Logitech one, mainly in regards that it has an infinite scroll wheel, and I usually don't use the infinite scrolling of it. But it would just kind of affect how the scroll would kind of feel as I was going kind of further along in it, and I was going to switch to kind of Logitech stuff, but I was going to do more kind of wireless things. However, I pretty much gotten these kind of Logitech ones that didn't play well together, and I'm like, why aren't these linking up? They say they should be light speed, so always check that kind of shit. So I stayed mainly within the wired realm. I'm working with this Steel Series one, which is a Hall Effect one, which I really like the feedback and how that feels, and a Steel Series Rival 5 mouse. So I'm still in the process of kind of dealing with them and kind of learning them, but I'm liking how they feel and work with my workflow so far. So I'll do more of a kind of review on those later on because I want to kind of fit with them. This is just an update because I'm like, oh, these were pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, but you kind of get what you pay for. Since everything kind of started going wrong in my weird kind of case scenario, I really wouldn't recommend this unless you are attempting to utilize it to learn about mechanical keyboards and then look for other things or try to learn how to modify. I didn't feel like kind of modifying and getting better switches and kind of trying to figure out what kind of goes on, because that just sounds like it would get kind of crazy and expensive. I kind of want one that would work out better and have minimal kind of thing that would minimal kind of crazy ass shit that would go on for it. That's kind of why I opted with the Steel Series one. Now, if you disagree with that, that's cool. Do your stuff. I would kind of want to be in the middle ground of like, if something goes wrong, I'd like to be able to try and fix it, but I don't want to have to learn complete and utter skill set on just doing this. I just kind of want to be like, okay. And the thing is, I would then have to get a new keycap puller, and I didn't even get through all the keycaps to pull, and it broke. And I'm like, that's not good. I mean, it's $50, so you do get what you pay for. So, use it as a learning experience, which I've learned. And I'm like, okay, Redragon, no thank you. Logitech. I didn't like what was going on with the wheel and how my hand would be kind of cocked a little bit. I kind of like to try and keep it more on straight as much as kind of possible. Feeling wise, that's just the feeling that works best for me as a kind of palm grip and everything like that. It was kind of the reason why I went off of the Corsair Scimitar. That also had mainly kind of scroll wheel issues, and it was just kind of too big for my hand. I'm like, okay, I'm not a hand model, but I have kind of smaller hands. I mean, not like small ass hands, but I'm like, I don't want a big honking ass motherfucking mouse. So, I wanted to kind of make this update to be like, listen, be careful. Shit can go really weird and sideways on these things. If something just fucking happens, your keyboard gets knocked off, you might want to look into another kind of sturdier USB-C cable if you want. Or other thing, if you're kind of going through and like, you know what, I'll use this as a base and kind of fucking do some crazy ass shit with it. That, I think, would be of better use. If you don't want to do any of that shit, I would look into other kind of keyboards that you are more comfortable buying. I was going to look into Keychron and other kind of ones, but I was kind of leery from getting it because of it ships from Amazon, but there was like too many different kind of Keychron kind of sellers that I was like, I don't know. I don't feel that comfortable with it. That's me. And then you can always just buy from Keychron, fuck me, directly. See, the thing is, my family has pretty much like Best Buy Total Tech. That's why I was kind of looking at that. And also Amazon Prime. So I was looking into that kind of ecosystem. And I played with this SteelSeries 1 at a Best Buy. And it just clicked. Also, rewards and everything, it's like brought that into a more kind of manageable range. So I'm like, okay, so keep those factors in mind when you're kind of looking around and shopping with it. But I just had crazy ass shit go on with this, and I want this as just mainly as a use case of why I'm like, I'm good. I'm good with the Redragon brand and also Logitech, because for some reason their supply chain shit with Best Buy was like completely and utterly nuts, because I would have went with that and tried to do that. However, they had been out of certain kind of linear key switches and shit for eons, and they're mainly 10 keyless, and I want the number pad. I mean, it's usually most of what I do for like a certain kind of number entry, and mainly in regards to passwords. It's just muscle memory for me, and I can understand being like, you could get a 10 keyless and then get a number pad attachment. Then it's getting into the realm of, now, that is a viable advice. I'm not going and saying and knocking you for that, but then I get into the spiral of it's shopping the shit, where it's like, okay, you try and find that kind of stuff that would potentially play well together, and it's like, okay, this is about the same kind of pricing as if I just bought one that had a numpad to begin with. And then you're like, okay, I then have two more USB things that I either have to take up with doing that, or more USB ones if I am trying to do wireless for the keyboard and the numpad and the mouse, trying to pare that down to just having one dongle with that. Only Logitech and Razer kind of do that, but it only does with certain kind of keyboards and mice, and doesn't do headsets either. And oh my god, I've gone cross-eyed. Fuck me, because I just want shit that works in a well kind of manner. No, you can't have that. Fuck. So, that's the kind of crazy thing. Sorry about that if you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? It's like, shopping has gotten completely and utterly shit-borked, and trying to find anything that works within your realm is nuts. So, if these work for you, cool. Just make sure you understand what insanity can kind of happen quality-wise with these. And I just wanted to update it because I was like, yeah, these things work out pretty well. And we have issues that pop up. So, I just wanted to update that. So, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me. If you like these or you dislike them. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.